I kind of want to do a life update video for you. It's been a while since I've talked about kind of everything that's going on, other than, you know, my day in the life videos, which you guys don't see, you know, everything. You just see kind of little tidbits here and there. So if you're interested in knowing what's going on in my life, keep watching. If you're not, you can X out of this video, but basically it'll be all about what we're doing. Since last time I updated, not a whole lot has changed except for the fact that we've moved. It's been a little bit over 2 months since we moved into our new place. We're adjusting pretty well. I would say the person who's having the hardest time adjusting has been Wyatt, and it's not necessarily because of the fact that we moved. Well, it is. Well, let me explain first. So a lot of you guys have been wondering where we moved, why we moved, that kind of thing. I kind of explained why we moved in one of our day in the life videos, but I guess if you're not specifically watching or listening for one thing, you kind of might miss it. We moved because we had an opportunity to move somewhere and live there while trying to sell our house. I didn't really talk about John and I's future plans with you guys in the last year, our wants and dreams, just because that's something really personal for us. You know, for the last year and a half, we have talked about moving, what it would be like, just kind of like where we would want to end up, that kind of thing, especially after John got his new job a year ago. You know, it was very real in our minds that we could afford a bigger place or move somewhere, you know, before we couldn't think about those things because, you know, we couldn't afford it then. So the last year we've kind of been in this kind of like, well, let's start talking about the future, where we want to settle, that kind of thing. Because the next house I purchase, I want it to be kind of our forever home until our kids move off to college. I hate moving. I've moved like 3 times now since having a child, and I don't want to keep moving. So that was kind of my thing, is whatever home we move into, I want it to be like that's where we're gonna live until Kaya's out of high school. So that's what we had kind of been thinking about. Again, it was just kind of like Kaya's right here. Hi. It was just kind of a thought. It wasn't this is what we're gonna do or anything like that. It was just kind of a, you know, thought in the back of our head, something to look forward to, something to think about and keep in mind. So, you know, John's been planting seeds in his company's head of like where we kind of would like to end up. So if they want to grow bigger in that area, that'd be great. We'd be willing to move there, that kind of thing. Just kind of laying down the groundwork for where we want to settle in the next 3 years. So going back to that, we've been always talking about that kind of thing for the last year, but it never seemed like it would be realistic for a few reasons. One, because we have 3 children. Thinking about selling a house with 3 kids just sounds like, shoot me now. Like, that sounds terrible. I've talked to people who have actually taken their houses off the market because they got so tired of showing the house and hiding the kids' toys and being out of the house at random hours with their kids, that I just like, that didn't sound appealing to me whatsoever. Like, I seriously thought I would just be stuck at that house forever until my kids were old enough to be in school all day, so that way like I could clean the house and keep it clean and, you know, leave when showings happen. But so that was like one of the reasons why we had not even talked about really seriously moving. Another thing was the fact that, you know, I babysit kids. You know, at that point I was babysitting kids 2 times a week. Now for summer schedule it's just 1 time a week, but that meant 4 kids under 4 and then my oldest daughter. So to pick up and leave with all of them randomly in the day, that just doesn't sound appealing at all either. And the last reason was because trying to sell a house, like, it just seemed really stressful because I didn't want to be there while doing it, if that makes sense. Like, the thought of strangers coming in and touching my stuff or being around my stuff. And I know for a fact that realtors don't always keep an eye on the people that they bring into homes that they're showing, because our realtor, when we were looking for the home that we have, did not follow us around every room. Like, she left us numerous times to our own, like, whatever. So if we were less honest people, we could have like stolen a ton of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so that freaked me out. So we were faced with an opportunity where we could live somewhere comfortably while selling our other house and having our other house be completely empty with not a whole ton of pressure on us to like sell it. Because that's another thing is, you know, say we rented another house and our place and moved into it, then we'd be paying a mortgage and that rent, and then the pressure would be really on to sell that. And you know, maybe we would take a bad offer just because we were so desperate to sell the house, that kind of thing. So like I said, we were faced with an opportunity where we could comfortably live somewhere else and then also take our time to sell our other house. Obviously we wanted to sell as soon as possible, but you know, we don't have to just settle for the first offer if it's not something that we're looking for. That is the main reason why we moved when we did, was because the offer that we got, or what, you know, the idea or plan came up at right away at a certain time. So basically where we're living now is with my parents. And I hate saying with my parents, but that's really what it is. I mean, I like to word it like, you know, we're living in the same house as my parents, because we still live separate lives. We still do our own thing. We still pay for our own stuff, that kind of thing. We have our separate areas in the house, but we are technically living with them. I love my parents. I lived with them for like 2 years. When I was a teen mom, I moved back in, and me and Ava lived here for the first 2 years of her life, and then I moved out on my own until I met John. So I'm used to living with them, and John's actually lived with them as well because he's from Indiana. So after we got married and we're closing on our house, it took a month to close on our house. We lived here between my lease at my townhouse and buying the other house for a month. So he's kind of used to that as well. My parents and I get along really well. My parents and John get along really well. So it's not awkward at all. But yeah, so the situation was that we were, you know, kind of dreaming of moving and selling our house. And my dad basically told his work that he's, you know, gonna quit in the next whenever time. So if he does get another job, it's not going to be here. It's going to be away from here. So that's the whole reason why I couldn't talk about where we moved, because I mean, I could have said like, oh, we're moving with my parents. But I didn't want to say we were moving with my parents unless I could tell you guys why, because I just know that a lot of people are judgmental, like, oh, what, you're poor, this or that, which we're not. We can still afford everything that we did before. There's nothing wrong with us financially. The truth of the matter is that it works out for both my parents and us for us to live here. Whenever it happens that my dad does move away for his job, the house would have been left just with my mom. And my mom works full time. She doesn't have the greatest knees or back, that kind of thing. So what would have ended up happening would have been John would have ended up coming over here to like plow the driveway and the sidewalks and mow the lawn and rake leaves, or I would come over here to help clean. Like, it would have ended up being me and John would come down here anyways to help out with the house. So for us, it kind of made more sense for her to move in with us once my dad left. Well, we have a smaller house than my parents. My parents have a 5-bedroom house with 3 living spaces, a huge kitchen, that kind of thing, 4 bathrooms. So it didn't make much sense for her to move in with us. And since we were the ones wanting to sell our house at that time, she was like, well, why don't you move in with us? So it was kind of like a weird little cockamamie plan. It wasn't really taken seriously. This was back in February. But then it became very realistic when, you know, my dad did decide that he was going to leave the job that he's at. Because of that, and because of the fact that my mom is getting knee surgery done August 4th, so she's going to need somebody living with her to help her up the stairs and stuff. She's taking, I think, 2 to 3 months off of work for it. She's getting her knee replaced, so it's a serious surgery. She needed somebody to be around to help her as well for that. So that's the whole reason why we moved. We moved in here because A, it was an opportunity to again sell our house without living in it, and also take time to sell our house. And it was also because to help my mom out with her house and her knee surgery and stuff while my dad is away. Also, the big scheme plan is that once our house sells, then we can help pay for half of the payments on their house, so that way we're each saving half of our mortgages every single month, to the point where we can both save for down payments on houses wherever we end up. Because my parents are not probably going to retire in this house. It's too big for them, and it's not in the area that they want. So my dream would be to build a house actually, and then have a wing for them, so that way they could just do whatever they want and we could help out. So, but that's all in the future. But the point is that that's kind of what the next 2 to 3 years are going to be for us, is a transitional period where we are planning for our future. We want a forever home. We want the home that our kids are going to graduate from high school in. And so that's why we did what we did. So we will be saving a lot of money by living in the same home as my mom once we sell our house, and we'll be able to help my mom as well with her home. So she doesn't have to worry about that, and my dad doesn't have to worry about her when he ends up leaving. It feels good to be able to help. You know, I try to cook dinner every night. I do the grocery shopping. I try to do laundry. for everybody, because it'd be what I'd be doing at home anyways, and it's kind of a nice way of repaying my parents for everything they did for us growing up, because they both worked full-time when we were little and there was 4 of us. And it's nice to have my kids around my parents for as long as I can, because you know, if they move and retire somewhere else and we move somewhere else ourselves, who knows how much time they'll get with them. So my oldest daughter, Ava, because we lived here for 2 years, has a really close relationship with my mom, and I just love that, and I just want my kids to be close to their grandparents as long as they can. So like I said, me and John get along really well with them. We still live completely separate lives. We go about our business. They both work full-time still and travel. John works full-time. I babysit the kids here because they're family friends, so they know my parents as well. So it worked out really well for everyone. In terms of like transitioning, like I said, Wyatt's having the hardest time, not because the fact of us moving, it's more of the fact of just disciplining him in a new home with another parental kind of pair in the house. Not that like my parents step in or anything, they're really good about hanging back, but it's just because Wyatt pushes us more because he knows my parents are there as well. So that's kind of what we're working on now. But for the most part, it's been working out really well. Like I said, there's plenty of space here. It's 5 bedrooms, you know, living room, family room, dining room, kitchen, basement, rec room. You guys saw that. 4 bathrooms. Like, we're comfortable here. It's actually more space than we had at our house, even with 2 extra people. Not that space matters, but I'm just saying, like, it's not like we're all cooped up in a box. Yeah, it's really nice. They have a great big backyard to play in. You guys saw that. A lot of you guys probably already knew where we'd moved, because if you paid attention to any of my vlogs that I did here, you know, the last few years, you kind of would have put 2 and 2 together. And again, it just worked out for all of us. We're able to help my parents out, you know, for everything, because obviously when my dad moves, financially he'll have to pay for a place as well on top of this house. And physically, you know, me and John will be able to be here to help take care of the house and get this house ready to sell when they're ready in 2 to 3 years as well. So our other house right now is emptied. All we have to do is I'm going to hire a cleaning service to gut the entire thing and do a really deep clean of everything. We have a few cosmetic things we have to fix, and then it will be officially placed on the market, and then people can just come and go, look at the house when they please, and not bother me or the kids, and I don't have to worry or stress out about having like everything in place or the toys hidden away. It's a really exciting time for us. It's because it's just like, it's exciting that we have a plan and that we're working towards something. Like I said, my dream would be to build, and that's what John is thinking too, is to build up a house somewhere. And again, if we're not stressed out about having to transition from one house to another house, you know, that we live in or have to sell, it makes that even easier, you know, being able to live here in, you know, in 2 years start building somewhere else, and be able to live here while we're building somewhere else. So yeah, that's basically it. We're it's just literally just a deal that just benefits both my parents and us equally, and that's what we decided to do. So I wanted to share this news with you guys as soon as I could, but again, I wasn't allowed to say anything because my dad hadn't announced his leaving his job or his position yet, but he finally did, so now I can talk to you guys openly about it. As you guys know, I try to keep my vlog channel as much about me and my family as possible and not anyone else, because it's not my place to share other people's news, and also I didn't, you know, want to cause any trouble. I hope you guys don't mind. I will not be doing a home tour. A lot of you guys have asked for a house tour, and I can appreciate your curiosity, but because there are other people living here, I don't feel comfortable doing that. And also, it's been really nice finally having some personal space to myself that the whole internet doesn't see. I kind of actually towards the end of living at our other house started having anxiety issues because I felt like I had put too much of my life and my kids' life out there. For some reason, it really bothered me that the internet saw into my kids' bedroom. It didn't bother me before, but as they're getting older, it just started really giving me anxiety issues. So I won't be sharing those things. Obviously, I'll still vlog around the house, so you'll see stuff. But again, it's kind of nice having a piece of my life back just as my own and my family's. So I hope you guys aren't offended, but that's just a personal choice that I've made. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, I hope you guys, you know, if you don't understand our situation, are still positive about it. You know, I don't need any negativity. Our living situation really isn't anybody else's business, but I wanted to share it with you because I didn't want you guys feeling like I was lying to you in any way. But again, I couldn't say anything until obviously my dad said it was okay, and I honestly just liked having, not a secret to myself, but just having information that wasn't like blown up all over the internet. So that is what we're doing. That is our current living situation. That is where we're living. And again, you know, I know a lot of people kind of jump to conclusions like, oh, you know, did John lose his job or this or that? And no, we're still exactly financially capable human beings. We pay for our own stuff, you know, that kind of thing. We're just living under the same roof as my parents. So it's actually really nice because we can split utilities like our cable, and that kind of thing, because we're under one roof. I did have to, as you guys saw in one of my vlogs, I had to upgrade it for my, you know, uploading capabilities, because my parents weren't used to having a YouTuber in the house. But yeah, we're in the midst of selling our van right now because we don't need 3 cars. And it's been really nice. I will say, like, one of the biggest things that's been really nice is that my mom's been really great, and same with my dad, about like if I need to run to the store or something, I can run over to the store real quick and not take 3 children with me. Or, you know, if I want to go somewhere real quick to like Walgreens, like I can take 1 kid and leave 2 home if they don't want to come, or that kind of thing. Or John and I have been able to go to a few movies after we put the kids to bed, that kind of thing. So it's been a really positive thing for us. It's been, you know, stressful at times because again, we're still trying to cohabitate, but for the most part, it's been really nice. We moved half of our stuff here, had the other half we sold at our garage sale. Like, we brought our basement furniture down and we put it in their basement, and it's now like John's little man cave / movie theater / video gaming area. And then we sold our upstairs stuff because my parents had, you know, a fully furnished house already. We brought over some of our shelves and our shoe stuff, as you guys saw in one of my vlogs. So basically all we really had to furnish when we moved here was our bedroom, because it was a little bit different and I wanted it to look nice as a background, the kids' rooms, and then also our bathroom. And then I added some stuff to their bathrooms as well, like, you know, that I had from our other bathroom. That's pretty much it. There you go. That's our life update about where we're living. Other than that, the kids are excited. Summer's finally, you know, in full motion. I've been getting back into shape by running and doing my yoga, and I have my first kickboxing class tomorrow. Super excited. Kaya is gonna be 3 in October, so she's getting huge. She's sick right now with a stupid cold thing that Wyatt gave her after he had his stomach virus, as you guys saw in my vlog. He actually came down with some type of like cough cold thing, and now he spread it to Kaya, but they're both getting better. And Ava's doing really well. She is enjoying her summer. She has every other week, obviously, in midweek visits. So she's at her dad's house every other week, and then our house every other week with the midweek visits. So that's been fun having her around with the kids. I'm still babysitting, like I said. It's down to 1 day for our summer schedule. It's 2 days during the school year. Plan on signing my son up for some summer classes for this. It's like this police, I don't know, it's a police thing that they do where they teach kids how to like safely cross the road and stuff like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. John's got a bike ride coming up, the Michigander. He's gonna be out there. We'll be up in the Sheboygan area. If you're around there, I'm gonna go up for the weekend with the kids, kind of have like a nice little summer vacation. So if you're around there and you see us, say hi. But yeah, that's really pretty much it. We are just concentrating on selling the house, concentrating on just living every day. And yeah, that's that. So there's our life update for now. I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, like I said, it doesn't really bother me what other people's negative opinions are about our move. I'm just happy in the situation that we're at. It works for everyone involved, so that's all that matters. My kids are happy, my husband's happy, my parents are happy, and so yeah, I hope you guys can be supportive. And again, I'm really excited for the future. I'm excited that we're laying down actual plans for the future and able to save for our dream house. And I'm really, really excited to share that all with you guys. So I will continue vlogging, of course, and all of that. And now I don't know how to end this video. I guess I could just say bye. So yeah, bye.